Ali Riaz is a distinguished professor at Illinois State University and the president of the American Institute of Bangladesh Studies, and he's joining us live from Normal in Illinois. Thank you very much for your time. If we can begin with what the crux of these protests have been about, most of the anger about the government jobs quota system is that over 30% of government jobs are reserved for families of those who fought in the 1971 Liberation War. That was more than 50 years ago, so should it still be in place?
That is the issue here. It is not that there are those who are protesting, especially when it started, the students were objecting not to this quota altogether. They said that this should be reduced in the number because it has 50 years have gone, and now it has been extended to the second or third generation of descendants. So they were demanding reforming the system so that there are equal opportunities, more opportunities for the graduate students. But what happened is beyond that. Actually, now it has transformed. As you can see from the last 3 days, it is no longer only an issue of the quota system. Students are battling for that. Students are demanding. But the other people who have joined from various walks of life, they are demanding the resignation of the Prime Minister and the government. That is because of the other issues, economic issues, political disenfranchisement.
Certainly the demands have grown, but, you know, given that this is Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 4th consecutive term and the way that she and the Awami League have ruled the country, it's highly unlikely that the government will resign, isn't it?
That's true. In that case, actually, over the next week or so, what we witness is basically Bangladesh is standing at a crossroads, so to speak. Either the government will survive, politically speaking, which would mean that there will be more persecution and more coercion in the coming days. On the other hand, if the opposition, I mean the protesters, can persevere, they might actually push the government to resign. In some way, the transition can happen.
Yeah, it would be so interesting to see what happens over the next few days. One of the main reasons for these protests, again, is the fact that there are so many millions of people, and especially young people, graduates, who don't have jobs in the country. Bangladesh, its economy has been triumphed as a success over the past decade, but is that really beginning to unravel?
It has. As a matter of fact, first of all, the statistics that we have heard, the narrative that we have heard about the success, of course, there has been some growth, but it has not been distributed equally. Disparity has increased, and some of those statistics were practically made up. So altogether, we are witnessing that on the one hand, there is no job for the graduates, job lack of employment, but also disparity has increased. We are witnessing the price hike. So generally speaking, the economic narrative, success narrative seems to be unraveling over the last year or so. Now, most of the people who are bearing the burden of it is largely those who are on the bottom of the ladder, middle class, lower middle class, and the poorer segment of the society. They are the ones who are now coming on the street and practically expressing the dissatisfaction.
Yeah, they are, in fact, who we've seen on the street along with the students who've led these protests. Why has the government cracked down on them the way that it has, not just with physical force, but cutting off the internet in a country with 170 million people? Have you been able to speak to anyone in Bangladesh?
A very sketchy, spotty communication. Most importantly, it is not only me. If you look at it, at least 8 million Bangladeshis are living outside Bangladesh. They have not been able to reach out their families. They don't know what is going on. They're worried, and of course, they're pretty much, desperate to reach out. On the other hand, this total communication blackout is to shut down the information so that neither you or I can get what exactly happening. It's a human rights violation, gross human rights violation situation. Government is trying to hide all these things. So on the one hand, at the personal level, it is a difficult situation for millions of people who cannot communicate even within the country, from outside the country, and then they're using this as a way to hide what is going on in Bangladesh.
Mr. Riaz, it's been great to get your expertise on this. We really appreciate it. That is Ali Riaz, live in Normal, Illinois.
Thank you.